Honorable Mketama should not include me when he says we are part of the problem.
But he said all of us.
I'm saying he must not include me. No, dying, of course I will die, but he must not include me in his categorization of people responsible for the crisis we are sitting with. My father was a farm laborer.
So was mine.
In Afrikaans, they would say is plus arbeider. So there was a system called plus arbeider stelsel, farm labor system, that confined him to work as a farm laborer. He died in 2007. He would have been about 77, 78 if he was alive. So I'm not part of the problem of the gentleman sitting over there. So I should not be counted amongst those who are part of this problem. There's nothing the department presented here that makes sense. There is no, let alone political will, which is absent. And there is interface between the politicians who are appointed as ministers and officials who are appointed in the department. There's a close interface, a political interface. So if politicians lack political will, officials must have an administrative and legal will to show politicians how to do it. And when they come before the portfolio committee and say, we have tried our best, we have shown them the administrative, legal, institutional way to do it, they couldn't do it because they lack political will and commitment. We can excuse officials for having done their part, but insofar as things stand, they have not done anything. There's no institutional capacity. There is no political, administrative, financial will to resolve these problems. So what is the point of having these gentlemen and ladies here? No, if the problem was lack of political will by politicians, and all of them, of course, without exception, lacks that will, we'll excuse the gentlemen and the ladies for having at least done something administratively. The court has rightly decided, or wrongly, to have Professor Levy to supervise officials. He's an activist on the ground. He's there with the volunteers. He's there with the landlords, with these labor tenants. He tries to suggest systems, policy, institutional mechanism to resolve these problems. But all of this fall on deaf ears, on men and women who are oblivious of the plight of farm labor tenants. Completely oblivious. So what is the point of having these gentlemen to come and through the minister's leadership. Perhaps we can excuse the minister because he's only 12 months in office. What is the point of having these gentlemen and ladies to come and present something which is really nothing, Honorable Chair? We have questions there which we can put to the legal aid, to the special master, which questions are but an academic exercise which will take us nowhere. Perhaps we need to remove all the officials and say and speak directly to Professor Levy and say, let's do it. What do you need? Put together a team that will help us get this thing done in the next 12 months. What resources you have? If you don't have resources, let the committee assign resources. If the 9 million that has been allocated for 2025-2026, Honorable Chair.
9 billion.
9 billion is what Professor Levy needs. Let's allocate that 9 billion to him now. We have referred several cases, and this is my last point, to legal aid. Through the minister's office, Minister Nkwinti, Minister Tidiza, on labor tenants who are victims, who have continued to be victimized across the country. We meet with them. They write to us, they send SMSs and WhatsApps. Honorable Mketama refers to the matter of Mr. Nkambule in Khair Siband. In the most notorious area of Piet Retief. Donker is what?
And Wakkerstrom.
Wakkerstrom. To this very day, Honorable Chair, and perhaps this follows on you and me, we haven't done anything despite numerous repeated discussions in this portfolio committee calling on your good self to meet with your counterpart in the police and everywhere else in the justice to get into that space and ensure that we come to to Mr. Nkambule's rescue. Even such meetings that are possible between ourselves and our portfolio committee counterparts, such meetings haven't happened. This one falls on you and me, and we cannot blame it on the gentlemen and the ladies on the other side, who clearly have got no capacity whatsoever. So lastly, Honorable Chair, without even entertaining the gentlemen from the department, I think I propose that they must be dismissed from this engagement. They are of no value, they are of no use whatsoever. We listen to the other stakeholders, AFRA and other stakeholders, to propose solutions. And at the end of this session, us and them and Professor Levy come up with concrete practical solutions to these problems and determine timeframes and recommend resources that must be allocated and assigned to Professor Levy, and then says, out of this exercise, something concrete has emerged. I'm a socialist, and socialists are practical individuals and believe in practical solutions. Not this endless, idle conversation and talks we're having here. We've been having this idle conversation and talks for far too long, Honorable Chair. Action needs to be taken. Thank you so much.
Thank you.